You're looking at a map here, BBC Verify. Not sure if they're watchers of the EI live stream, but a couple days after my report last week on the yellow line and where the placements of that are, you can see more than half of Gaza is covered by this yellow line where Israel is able to operate freely, a free fire zone on the eastern side of the yellow line. And what BBC Verify did, that's their investigations unit, they looked at open source material and satellite footage and the material that the Israeli military showed that I showed on the program last week. If you didn't catch that segment last week, you can find resistance reports since the beginning of the war on our YouTube channel in the playlist section. But we covered the placement of these markers along this yellow line that appears to be a central feature of the ceasefire, such as it is. This is in the north. This is just south of Beit Lahia. And you can see where the yellow mark was delineated on the map. More than half of the people that have been killed in the ceasefire have been killed around the yellow line. The map was extremely vague. And the keys to this to understand is that the Israeli military is continuing its operations on the eastern side of this yellow line. They're attempting to achieve through ceasefire what they failed to achieve during the war. They're dismantling the tunnel apparatus, they're destroying homes, they're basically carrying out Operation Gideon's Chariots, which was expressly by the IDF said was against infrastructure and not against fighters, because they couldn't defeat the fighters, so they moved on to the infrastructure. And that's what's happening on this other side of the line. Then Israel uses the pretext of any kind of attacks on their forces, which they claim without any evidence have happened, and the resistance has distanced themselves from those attacks. But Israel uses that pretext to carry out its attacks in Gaza, despite what's supposed to be a ceasefire, and it's supposed to be a ceasefire guaranteed by Trump. So the fact that the Israeli military is going through the Civil Military Coordination Center run by Central Command, it's a bad omen for the trajectory of this ceasefire. That previous map was showing more than 500 meters distance between where the yellow line was supposed to be, where it was agreed upon in Sharm el-Sheikh, to where it is now. Here we're seeing it in the Khan Yunis area, 300 meters in front of what is supposed to be the line, and Israel continues its military operations in that territory